now we have Flycisco.
Hello. Anybody out there likes cats? Yeah, lots of people. I'm more of a dog person myself, but one day I was working at my computer and outside last winter in the garden I just saw this black furry ball on the grass, and I was like, what's that? And then my dogs were outside and they started going to it and sniffing at it, and then the biggest dog is the nosiest one and just went really close to the furry black ball, and he got really scared because a tail just came out of the ball like that and it ran away. So I went outside to look at this thing, and I don't know if you can see it from there, but it was just this tiny little kitten, really black, and I picked it up and it didn't really weigh anything. It was unbelievable. I'd never handled a cat like that before. So anyway, I took her in. Also, I forgot that when I picked her up, I looked at her eyes and they were like really glued, and it was just like she couldn't open her eyes at all. So I brought her to the vet. The vet kept her for a few days and then helped her. Then I took her in for about a few months and had to let her go because the vet said that she had this virus, so she wasn't going to last anyway. It's called Charlene. A virus that only affects a cat? Well, what the hell is that? Goodbye, my mini panther, my hedge-born, black-haired, shiny-sheened, and random thing, sweet Charlene. Glued eyes hiding deepest green ever seen, inbred princess, sweet Charlene. Genetic gems and passed down germs, fell from birth, life, on its own terms. I'll miss you, my sweet and tiny, but with a fierce bite. Soft shadow, tripping up my slow feet with tail hogs and that. Black and shiny like the new shoes you scratched in 3 seconds flat, with tiny claws, my only ever cat. My tiny, shiny, homeless beauty queen. Goodbye, my sweet Charlene.
Lovely, thanks, Flycisco. And now Nick Smith.
Oh.
Come to the stage, please. Thank you.
I have unexpectedly killed the muse. As some of you know, I'm working on a boat at the moment that was like an almost an inheritance thing. And it's taken so much time, effort and energy that I haven't written anything now for maybe 2 months. Instead I've been in the bilges, digging out pitch, changing engines and God knows what else. And it's very, very interesting, very exhausting, very frustrating. And this morning, knowing that the good old pSoken was on its legs again for tonight, I thought, well, I've got to write something. So this is all about the sailing vessel Vixen. The muse is locked in a bark, askance on mudflats, low tide. Trestled hair flows silken, oily to her waist, skirt hoops awry like bangles on the wrist of a child. The baluster was moved to take pity, but not enough. He cast ingots around her, of lead. She's no inspiration there, she's no inspiration here. Lies oblique in the bilge, she does, her pretty young head resting heavy on a thwart. Her wrists are bound with hemp amidst the stench and slop of foul water, accompanied by rats that observe with mute eyes. She pleads with jailers and turnkeys. Their lascivious laugh loiters around her languish. Gulls wheel through the rig, squatch and craw for mackerel, heads and tails bulge down the neck. Reminds me of her knee beneath the blanket. I run from all op to poop, a man of many devils possessed, me journeyman's bag stuffed with plane, chisel, gimlet, square, saw, mallet, knife, tree nails, adze, measure, hook and line, offcuts of spruce, larch, oak, ironwood, bungs, cork, tar, which I'd stuff down her wailing throat, rather than listen to her kick at the cleats with "Belay, belay, belay" in me ears, each time the order is given to liberate she who is innocent. They'll rue the day when she sets foot on the quarterdeck. She'll unlock all that should have been said before we set foot on this poxy, scurvy-ridden lump of timber shit. But see me heart split. I love this old boat, die to keep her afloat, for she'll go on long after we've walked the plank. So I bury my tar and caulking in splits, chafes, knotholes and rotted wood, rejoice as her bow catches the current, coax her off the mud as the wind fills her mainsail, feel her lurch like a dog at a rabbit. She strains to lessen that distance between here and there, where we hanker, that furthest port. We'll rest against some key, sun-warmed stone bollard around which our warps and lines will make us fast, never to move from that sacred place till summoned again by the call of another. And the Muse? She'll get out. She always does, Vixen. She'll look for a Zebek on the horizon. Even pirates are better than my crew. Can't keep a good woman down. Even lying in her own shit and piss, jailers can't refuse, and when she comes out, she'll cut us to the quick. Then, like Nelson, we'll be pickled, remembering nothing. But she'll go on sucking our blood, and we poor saps can do naught but let it flow. Locked or free, she's a curse, no mistaking. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And now we have Brendan.
I never actually write poems about cats, so it's kind of a happy coincidence. Cairo. His grey Siamese cat slept at the back door. My fingers moved to light another camel. On the wall, a painting of a raven in chains. Empty bottles of Diet Coke on the table. We were anonymous alcoholics. His grey Siamese cat held no such allegiance. A mural of the sunset on the wall, bright and beautiful. It would drive anyone to suicide. I favoured the raven. And here was where we were, we talking with death as he takes another pill. And I break bread and join in, swallowing the unsure host of barbiturate. His mother leaves, then his father. The cat continued to be nothing but a cat, thank God. I took a pill, he took a pill. We constructed our sentence pill by pill, and the world began to dematerialize all around us. And the cat was God. The cat slept, and in its time, we talked and drifted on in her wake, popping pills, until the cat woke and someone had to open the door. And all lived ever after, to empty cat trays, open cans, and lay out saucers of milk. For that has had the loyal servants of cats live. Just a little plug for our event for Bloomsday, and the 16th of June. We'll be here from noon till around 2-ish, depending upon the ish. But we'll be meeting up in the park in the Emmett Square around 11:45 to have a little bit of a Joycean wander up. So this is a poem that kind of I've been reading a bit of Joyce recently, which starts about Beckett, of course. Waiting for Godot. Beckett writes a story that is not a story, for it will go nowhere, and it will stay in this place where we wait in tension that tightens each nerve inside our mind until we feel like only a knife can release us. Joyce writes a story that is all stories, and is all men and all women, and is the God lost in the streets of Dublin mourning the death of his only son, while his wife, his virgin, is unflowered again as he wanks alone on Sandymount Strand, watching the white tie of the club-footed girl. And between these words we break and shape to our own ends, once we get our tongues around them. In that white, in that gap, in that silence, is it love that is invisibly there?